So I'm going to actually scoot over here. I'm going to go through this agreement. I've got the Premier Plus program agreement. You have it as well here. And, you know, I want to talk to you about, you know, all of the different opportunities that we have. I want to point your attention to a few different areas. Obviously, this is going to be a $40,000 program, so we're going to just scratch that out real quick here. It's going to be $40,000 for this program. And what that's going to change is if you go to page 2 here, okay? Page 2 talks about business volume opportunities. Okay? In this section, we talk about how many business volume opportunities you're going to be provided. Okay? And it actually says that we're going to provide these and during walkthrough training, thereafter within 6 months of the customer's successful completion of all of the training programs. What that means is that we are absolutely guaranteeing that you're going to get your $480,000 in business volume opportunities, even if it didn't happen within training. You're going to have it within 6 months of the completion of that, okay? Now, this has never happened ever, okay? So I want you just to recognize that here's where your guarantee is. Here's where the tire meets the road, okay? This is where. Go ahead.
Question: business volume opportunity. You're not guaranteeing me $480,000. You're guaranteeing me $480,000 in opportunities.
Absolutely. I'm guaranteeing you $480,000 in opportunities. That's minimum, okay, before you even leave training. And you're guaranteeing me in consideration of this that you're going to be completing your training, okay? We agreed to that, right? So what's going to happen here is that, yeah, the $480,000 here, yeah, you're actually going to get those in business volume opportunities. Like I said, most of our customers, they even receive over $1 million, the customers that sign up for this program. And in consideration of you actually completing your training, yes, you're going to have, you know, an overabundance of actual business, okay? Now, let me tell you this program is not only to train you, but to help develop business volume for your company, okay? You're going to have contract opportunities in consideration of the completion of your training. Once your training is complete, we continue to develop business for your company, okay? So this is not a one-time, hey, once we're done with getting this $480,000 out of the way, once you're done with training, we're done. That's not what happens. We continue to work with you and grow your business, and we'll continue to provide you with contract opportunities, okay?
Big selling point.
Okay, great. So what I wanted to point your attention to is on A here, where it says $480,000 in business volume opportunities. This is where the guarantee comes in. If we were only to provide you with half, which we've never done that, we've never ever had to provide a payment. I told you earlier in the conversation, but here's your guarantee. A lot of customers ask about. It's in section B, the guarantee of your payment if we didn't fulfill our end of the obligation, okay? So then as far as in certifications, that just says, hey, pass your training, okay? You already told me you're 100% committed. At this point, you're 100% committed to the growth and development of your company and a relationship with the janitorial agency. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. So moving forward here, I also wanted to, you know, if you can go through and flip, what I need you to do is I need you to initial each one of these pages actually as you go. So let's go back to the first page and get that initialed up. Go ahead and initial here, here, and at the bottom. Okay, and then I also, actually, let's do it on the clean page here, because this right here is all of your notes. Let's go ahead and initial this clean agreement. Okay, and you flip to the second page, you initial and understand the business volume opportunities that you're going to get. And you're initialing, yep, the $480,000. So you're going to initial that. And then also, yep, then understanding the payment, how the repayment will work. Like I said, if we only provide you with half, then we'd provide you with half of the money that you invested as payment in return. And then this here is understanding the certifications as far as your training, that you're going to pass that, and in consideration, we're going to provide you everything. Then you flip to the customer responsibility. This is basically helping you understand you are in business for yourself, that we don't have control over your business. This whole section here, so you can go ahead and initial that. Do you have any questions about that? Okay, great. And then at the bottom here, it's just initialing, understanding and the training. When you do the video training, it's 80%. You got to pass all with 80%. It's fairly easy for you to go through and do that. You can also have one of your employees do it if you want to. But your walkthrough training, you'll have to do, and you'll have to pass with 30%, okay? Okay, great. And we'll move on to the page 4 here. This information, what we're asking you to initial is this bold here where it says customer will be required to make all payments due and complete all training courses required in consideration of receiving business volume opportunities. So it just means we're just covering our tracks, make sure that you understand that we'll provide you these things, but you've got to make sure that when I get you financing here too, that you continue to make your payments timely and that you don't default on payments, okay? That's the main thing.
Question, so if you're financing me, or you're financing $20,000 for me, I'm making monthly payments to you, am I still guaranteed my volume?
Absolutely. You're
as long as I'm
guaranteed
making my payments on time.
Yep. Okay. That's what this means. As long as you're in good standing, we continue to do services for you. And then at the bottom of the page here, more about customer success. I want you to understand that there's a lot to being successful in a janitorial business. I can't make you successful, but collectively we can be successful, okay? And then we'll move on to page 5 here. The only initials you have to do here is at the bottom of the page because this is simple standard language for all agreements. Basically, you are not an employee of the janitorial agency. That's basically what 9 is talking to you about. And 10 just means you're going to hold us harmless. It's a normal indemnification. Do you have any questions about that? Okay. And then also the customer payment and forfeiture. That's more information. That's more information about making sure that you're making good on your payments with us so that we can continue to provide you services, okay? So if you paid this thing in full, then some of these things wouldn't really matter, you know what I mean? Okay. So, yeah. Moving on, this is the default and termination section of the agreement. This basically indicates how company can terminate, or how company will send you notice, okay, to correct anything that is not working out according to the agreement the way that we need to be successful. Like I said earlier, we talked about how it's important for you to be 100% committed and have some humility to be able to grow and be coached, okay? If you have that, you're going to be awesome. You're going to dominate in your industry and in the area with a relationship with us. So you can go ahead and initial there unless you have any questions about that part. And then on the next page, we're going to talk about how if you need to send us notice for termination or for a default as well, okay? And that's on page 7 here. And you'll initial that. That talks about the responsibilities for you to send notice, proper notice given to the janitorial agency if you see that we've defaulted in any way with our relationship, okay? And then at the bottom, we're going to initial here. We're talking about the entire agreement. These are other standard parts of an agreement. Policy and administrative changes. If we have to make changes, they're for your own benefit, okay? For prevailing conditions in your environment, like say that we need to make changes to the walkthrough training to help you be better. You understand that we may have to do that and send you notice, hey, we got to change this up to be successful. That's what that's about, okay? And then on this, the page 8 here, we're still completing the rest of the agreement, the waiver, interpretation, governing law, simple stuff here. Do you have any questions about those things?
No.
Okay. What I want you to do here is I want you to go ahead and write in your name, your company's name, okay?
Company's name?
Well, put your name first and then your company's name. Put in your address, the address that you want to receive notices to if you need to receive a notice. Okay, and then I want you to put your email in right next to email there because you'll receive some notices like say that we do have to make changes to policy. We want to make sure that we've got the right email to send to, okay? And then at the very bottom there, it's an acknowledgement and you just go ahead and initial that page. And we can move on. And soon we're getting into the information about what we do with training, but what I need you to do is go ahead and sign here, okay, the customer signature area, and then I need you to print your name. And what position do you hold at your company? What kind of company do you have? Do you have a corporation?
Not yet, no.
No, not yet. What, do you have anything yet at all, or do you just run under sole proprietorship?
Like sole proprietorship.
Okay, so just put controller here under its, okay? And then here you're going to guarantee, because I'm going to give you some financing here, so you're going to go ahead and guarantee that, the financing, by signing there, and then printing your name just below that. Okay. And then you're going to actually move into Exhibit A here. And Exhibit A talks about the training and what goes on. You can see 1 through 6 here on the front page. It takes you through the training to be conducted here. Okay, so we want to do some training here. We can waive that if you're not capable of doing that, and we can talk about doing that if needed. But the branding and proposal, operations training, sales training, walkthrough training, these are all important aspects that we sort of discussed. Sales training actually is a part of your prospect training. Okay, so if you understand that, go ahead and initial there. And then flip to the last page, and then it's just more information about services, consulting, a breakdown of how things are distributed. It's not really anything that you have to, that's super important to you. It just shows you how we break down the costs of this program, okay? And then down here, the services, the training, consulting, it talks about, like it says right here, that we may provide certain time goals, but there's no absolute obligation for you to meet certain time constraints in your training, except for under your walkthrough training, okay? Where it's very, very time sensitive for you to do the walkthrough training, fill out that survey, and get it right back to our office so that we can go through, analyze your audio, analyze your survey, propose these people, then get the proposal out to them and go over that proposal to close, okay? That's one of the rules to closing, is going over that proposal with your customer and obtaining the agreement with them. So go ahead and initial there if you don't have any questions. And
quick question, so because this total was changed, then obviously all these would change.
Sure. Yeah, and you know, the thing is that these would have already been changed. Okay, okay. So yeah, we'll go ahead. I'll make changes to this, amend this a little bit so that you have it. Like I said, we moved up from a premier program to an even bigger program to execute your 1 to 2 million goal that you were looking at. So we'll go through this, and then I'll go ahead and I'll amend this, get your signature on it, and we'll move it forward, okay? So yeah, go ahead and initial that. I'll get this agreement over to Lisa, my assistant. She's going to go through and I'm going to give her instruction on how to amend that, and then we'll get your signature on that, and we can move forward. Now, as far as your orientation, did you want to do that orientation right after, or did you want to do that at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning? What exactly were you thinking?
I would say 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. 11
o'clock tomorrow morning? You're in the office? Okay,
and
great.
How long is that orientation?
That orientation is going to take some time. I mean, if you come here into the office, it's probably going to be no longer than a half hour for the initial orientation. But like I said, we have other orientations that that happen in between. When we move into the prospecting and walkthrough sections of our training, we do an additional orientation to make sure that you are in the know. You got to know what's going on, otherwise you'll be like a fish out of water trying to figure out how to swim or how to breathe without water, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, we make sure we do a couple of different orientations along the way here. But this one here, this one will only take probably about a half hour so that you have a good understanding of what direction we're going in, and the web development, the logo development, the things that the initial training that we're going to get started with. You're going to complete those things. We're going to get you into account acquisitions right away. Account acquisitions is the area where we actually do walkthrough training, prospect training, those type of things with you, okay? Mm-hmm. You have any questions about that?
Now, am I required to get my business plan and development or logo? Am I required to get you some information back?
You're going to, initially we'll go ahead and we'll provide you with some options, and then to get some of your feedback, that's definitely good, okay? But we're going to go through, we're going to actually use our professional marketing department to secure you some great images for your logo, and then our web department is going to go through and do a thorough web development for you that's going to it's going to fit basically with the personality of your business and the growth structures and standards that you have. I mean, man, we got to make sure that you've got a great professional placement piece here for a large size building service company. So we're going to be working very, very hard, working our butts off for you to make sure that that's good, that you've got great placement there. Okay?
If I have a logo that I have in mind, I can work with your people with that.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And Carol's actually the manager, technology director. Carol Davis, and she'll be able to help you with anything to do with logo development or web development.
Okay.
Anything that has to do with technology, your business card templates, because as we put your logo together, we're going to provide you with some templates. If you need some additional assistance, make sure you email Carol. In fact, I'm going to give you Carol's email address right now. Can you go ahead and write it down?
Sure.
It's carol.davis@thejanitorialagency.com. And then also your initial consulting appointment, I'm going to give you Sue's email too, because if you leave here after your orientation, you have any questions, I want you to email Sue at sue.bowers with an S at thejanitorialagency.com. Okay, so I want you to make sure that you feel free to do that. Now here's what I've got to do. I've got this agreement. I'm going to go real quick here. I'm going to go and get the application that I need to acquire your financing, okay? While I'm doing that, were you going to actually do a direct deposit into our Chase account, or are you planning on doing a wire transfer from your account for the $15,000? What exactly were you going to do?
I can do a direct deposit because I have a Chase account.
Can you? Okay, great. So we'd be able to go handle that today. While I go get this application, if you think of any questions, jot them down. I'll be back. I'm going to help you out with it, okay?
Great.
Hold on for just a moment.